The northwest of Mato Grosso is dominated by the Amazon rainforest, but just past the tree line sits a highly engineered, rapidly expanding agricultural powerhouse that is hiding in plain sight. This region has quietly become the 9th largest coffee producer in Brazil, generating over 260,000 bags of coffee every single year. This chart shows the region's agricultural explosion over the last decade. 10 years ago, farmers here harvested about 6 bags per hectare. Today, that number has spiked to 23 bags, a 255% increase in yield. That volume is driven by biology. Researchers at Embrapa developed a specific cultivar for this exact environment, the BRS 1216, or Amazonian Robusta. It is a plant engineered in the laboratory to thrive specifically in the humid soils of this territory. The region has mastered the hard agricultural science. They have built a world-class foundation of physical production. Yet the wider coffee market has no idea this infrastructure even exists. The Amazonian Robusta produces a highly distinct cup. Scientific and sensory evaluations document specific notes of rustic chocolate, apricot, and an unusually high level of sweetness for the species. To measure this quality globally, the Coffee Quality Institute uses a strict tasting protocol. Beans that score above 80 points on their evaluation form cross the threshold into Fine Robusta, a highly lucrative specialty classification. This document outlines recent evaluations of Mato Grosso's coffee clones. While the same species of bean recently achieved a historic perfect score of 100 points in a neighboring state, Mato Grosso's own harvests are now consistently pushing up against that premium 80-point threshold, but those scores do not translate to profits. Because these farmers lack the legal certification to prove where their coffee comes from, their premium beans are mixed into bulk piles and sold at the base price of ordinary commodity coffee. Decades of genetic research and careful cultivation are effectively erased at the point of sale. Biological quality has little economic value if it cannot be legally categorized, leaving a massive amount of wealth trapped right there in the soil. To understand exactly what is missing, look across the state line to Rondônia. This neighboring state shares the exact same Amazonian biome, the same climate, and grows the exact same Amazonian Robusta cultivar. On a purely physical level, the plants are identical. But in June 2021, Rondônia secured a piece of paper that changed their trajectory entirely, a formal denomination of origin, known as Matas de Rondônia. This table breaks down geographic indications. A denomination of origin is a legal monopoly, certifying that a product's characteristics are inextricably linked to its territory. For global buyers, it guarantees an unreplicable asset. You cannot grow Matas de Rondônia coffee anywhere else. You have 2 identical plants, grown in the same soil, producing the same beans, yet they hold vastly different market power, depending entirely on which side of an invisible legal border they happen to be harvested. Rondônia's certification acts as a commercial passport. Buyers seeking verified, highly traceable Amazonian Robusta know exactly who to call, creating a direct pipeline to premium global markets. Mato Grosso has no such commercial passport. An international roaster looking for that exact same coffee profile in Mato Grosso has no official entity to contact and no certified seal to trust. Institutionally, the entire region is completely invisible. This graph illustrates the financial penalty of that invisibility. While commodity coffee relies on a flat, volatile global baseline, beans sold with a verified origin can capture a price differential of nearly triple the standard rate. Global supply chains operate on strict documentation and risk management. Buyers do not recognize biomes, do not reward historical effort, or verify raw taste remotely. International trade runs exclusively on verifiable documents. For the farmers of Mato Grosso, a lack of paperwork is just as fatal to their profit margins as a drought or a bad harvest. If Mato Grosso possesses the science, the volume, and the proven sensory quality, why hasn't it secured its own geographic seal? The answer lies in bureaucracy. To grant a denomination of origin, the government requires applicants to pass the 5 strict documentary gates shown here. Thanks to robust public investment and years of field research by Embrapa, Mato Grosso has effectively cleared the physical and scientific hurdles. They have the geographic delimitation and the technical data ready to go. But as this audit shows, critical institutional pieces are entirely absent. The state lacks the formal quality control protocols required to verify the product, and it has no legal regulations established to manage who gets to use a geographic seal. The government and the scientific community have taken the region as far as they possibly can. Pushing through the final gates requires a type of organizational coordination that cannot be legislated in a capital or engineered in a laboratory. Everything comes to a halt at critical gate number 3. This is the bottleneck paralyzing the entire forward progression. Brazilian law mandates that a geographic indication must be requested and managed by a formally constituted representative entity. It requires an active association of producers with a valid corporate tax ID. Right now, that entity does not exist. Without an organized collective of farmers from Colniza, Juína, and Aripuana sitting at the same table to agree on their shared future, none of the remaining paperwork can be drafted, signed, or submitted. This document pinpoints the fundamental paradox of geographic value. A government simply cannot grant a collective right, no matter how much evidence exists, if there is no legal collective standing there to receive it. And here, the chain stops. The soil has done its work. The scientists have proven the quality. The plants are producing millions of premium beans. But transforming those physical resources into true economic wealth is no longer an agricultural challenge. It is entirely a test of human coordination.